So the evidence is clear now that Trump appears to be preparing for a military confrontation. We discussed how he may be readying himself to effectively steal the 2026 congressional election because of the consequences that would fall upon him if Congress changed hands. This Congress has been completely compliant to him, of course, and the only way he can continue doing what he's doing, moving towards a complete autocracy, is by having a completely compliant Congress. So he won't allow Congress to change hands in 2026. There is therefore real preparation underfoot for what appears to be a likely military confrontation in 2026. We know how he has been stationing troops, both from ICE and from National Guard units, around blue states, because he knows that's where the uprising will occur. And if we think about this for just a second, even contemplating this would have been ridiculous in any previous administration. Just the idea that a president of the United States is sending troops to various parts of the country, and the fact that we can start to speculate that this is in order to prepare to take action against US citizens on a mass scale as a result of a likely uprising at some point soon, this has just been unthinkable. This is not part of the American story that we've ever known. And yet that appears to be exactly what's happening. Even as I say these words, that Trump appears to be preparing for a military confrontation, even as I say these words, I feel disbelief hearing myself say them. But if we are to really help ourselves navigate this time, we have to be clear-eyed, and even things that seem outlandish and ridiculous have to be faced up to, if that appears to be where the evidence is taking us. So as well as stationing various military and paramilitary forces around blue states, where he's predicting that uprisings may arise in response to his actions, he has also been firing a whole swathe of senior military officials across the US military forces.
Trump's people didn't just fire all of the senior lawyers in the US military. They fired or pushed out the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the Chief of Staff of the Air Force, the Second in Command of the Air Force, the Commandant of the Coast Guard, the Chief of Naval Operations, the Deputy Head of the NSA, the Head of the NSA and the Head of Cyber Command, the Chair of the National Intelligence Council. Now, just recently on Friday, they fired the Head of the Defense Intelligence Agency, the Chief of the U.S. Navy Reserve, and also the Head of the Navy SEALs. The SEAL officer who oversees Naval Special Warfare Command, the former commander of SEAL Team 8, all fired. How come?
Now, instead of looking at each individual case and going through why each of them were fired, what the cause was, what the sort of purported reason was, and what the reality might be, we can start drawing some conclusions by looking at them collectively. And that is that clearly what Trump is doing is removing some competent people, some professional people, some people who are loyal to the Constitution. So he is removing military leaders who would have stood in his way when he starts to issue illegal orders to put down actual US citizens. Now, that's the only reason you would fire so many senior military and national security officials across the board like this. He's preparing. So he's stationing troops in places where he thinks he'll need them. He's also starting to turn over senior positions in order to get compliant people in place to do his bidding. And at exactly the same time, it's been announced that the FBI are lowering their standards for recruitment. So he's weaponizing the FBI too, to recruit people based on loyalty to him, not on competence. The FBI, of course, have very high standards. They recruit the best and the brightest because that's what you want from a federal police force. But that's not what Trump wants. He wants people who will work for him. He wants people who will slavishly follow orders issued by him. And so now we're in a position where law enforcement as well as the military are being completely transformed into a personal militia that will support Trump and follow his orders when the time comes. As I say, I almost can't believe I'm saying these things, and I have a sense of disbelief in myself when I say them. But we have to, as I say, really think through what is going on here, connect the different dots to understand what's actually happening. But you tell me, what do you think? Is this part of a plan that seems to be assembling? It just seems that these various different pieces start to put together a picture that is actually quite clear. But tell me, what do you think? Is this the case? Or is this sort of stuff that we're imagining? I mean, we know that these things are actually happening, but predicting why this is happening is our speculation. But it doesn't seem that there's any other explanation. But if there are, I'd love to hear them. The people who write in the comments in this channel are very, very experienced, intelligent, wise, knowledgeable and articulate folks. I absolutely love reading the comments because there's some very astute analysis that goes on in there. So I look forward to reading more from you as together we grapple with what's happening and we try and work out what on earth is Trump planning, what really is going on. I hope you like my video. As a psychiatrist who loves politics and economics and philosophy, I love to make videos like this, and you can really help promote this video to other people and get it on your feed more by liking and commenting and subscribing to the video as well. We have a wonderful community of people here who comment and support each other through this very traumatic period of world history that we're going through right now. I also hope you consider becoming a subscriber to the channel and also subscribing to my e-newsletter. There's a link in the description, and that way we can stay in touch outside the channel, so you can keep abreast of all of the content that I'm making on an ongoing basis. The latest of which actually is my latest book called We the People. Very, very proud of this book. It's actually a novel, a fiction book written by myself and the famous award-winning author T.J. McGregor. Together we wrote a book about what the future might look like. Bit of a dystopian novel, but what might happen if autocracy goes to its next stage, AI predicting the potential end of humanity. I actually made a video about that, it really happened. And how things might pan out in this dystopian world, and actually how a band of committed, passionate, progressive people managed to change the trajectory, and not in the way that you think. It's not just by running a candidate and opposing the autocrat, but actually by deepening the democracy that we have and engaging in a real participatory form of democracy that sort of shifts the needle and gets us back to basics and helps us sort of rebuild our democracy. And that's within the context of a really compelling, gripping story, a bunch of fascinating characters, and I assure you, you will not be able to sort of stop turning the page until you get to the end of the book. That's what all the reviewers have said so far. Lots of people love it, and I hope you can get it. You can get it on Amazon, any of the global Amazon bookstores out there. Please do order your copy of We the People. Just put We the People Russell Razzaque and you'll be able to find it inside Amazon as well. Also, I hope you consider becoming a member of the channel. You can subscribe to a couple of different membership levels. All members of the channel also get some free ebooks that I produce once a month. You can buy those ebooks too from russellsbooks.com. That's russellsbooks.com, and every month I produce a new ebook on that channel, which is really about, these are the non-fiction books I produce with my team, which is really about how to learn about the world around us and the psychologies of the people who govern us, but also how to learn about ourselves, deepen our own self-awareness in a way that helps us navigate this difficult world we're in right now. So those are sort of self-help books that are produced every month, and if you're a member of the channel, you get a sort of 100% discount on those books every month. Otherwise, you can go to russellsbooks.com, as I say, and buy them anytime you like. I really hope you can become a part of this community, as I say. So this sort of supportive community, validating and helping each other, is really worth being a part of, and I hope you can join us as we all join forces to create a better tomorrow together. Thank you.